question for you at this point. What do you think? What's the most difficult part of improving your call center? Which of these variables would you say, yeah, that's the number one? If I could solve that, if I could snap my fingers and solve that, that'd be the one. And just take your keypad and the numbers correspond. This will be interesting. See what we come up with here. Very interesting. So it's a with the exception of hiring, which is very much in agreement with other parts of the world, other parts of the profession. We see much the same numbers. Hiring is a huge challenge, getting the right people, and then it's a pretty even distribution beyond that. More contact channels, yep, that's a big challenge. One of the simple solutions that we're seeing in contact centers that are really pushing forward is educating other parts of the organization on how the contact center behaves. And this fourth trend, you'll have to forgive me, this looks like an eye test, but this is based on Erlang C, a queuing formula that was developed in 1917, about almost 100 years ago, by a Danish mathematician, lived in Copenhagen. Most are probably using this in one form or another, or you're using computer simulation, which is an alternative to calculate staff. But here's what so many organizations haven't really grasped. Our colleagues in other parts of the organization maybe don't really know what the dynamics are here. If you see that box up above, the green fonts are simply the input. How long do our calls last? How many do we get? So I just plugged in some numbers here for an example. 250 calls, 3 minutes talk time, a half a minute after call work, and plugged in a middle of the road service level. And you get these answers then. You press enter, you get these answers. So we need, in this example, 34 agents. Again, it's just an example, numbers I plugged in. What this tells us is what happens to our callers. I worked with an insurance company recently. They said, we are so far off in staffing. Our service level is a disaster. We walk in every morning. The queue is constant. And so we ran some numbers. I did a few calculations. They weren't that far off. There's a few people here and a few people there off the mark. They're much bigger than this. There were just a few people here and there off the mark. Our colleagues in marketing who put out promotional pieces need to know. We got to know what's happening. Our colleagues in product development who put out new products or new communication, they need to tell us. And then we in turn need to tell them what the response is and what kind of customer inquiries are coming out of that. This is something our colleagues across the organization have to know and understand as numbers oriented as it looks. By the way, I put a little note in here so I wouldn't forget. If you would like, that's a little software program that we developed. I will give it to you for no charge. If you will give me your name, if you want to give me your name and email address, I'll send you that program. It's just a little calculator, and you can use it to show the staffing trade-offs in your own organization. We can also send you some research and other things that we just don't have time for this morning. So sometime today I'll be around. Give me your name and your email, and if that's the only communication you want, that's fine. Just let me know that. But I'll get that to you, and you can have it and use it. I want to show you one more little commercial. This is for a software company, and they're advertising their product, but there's a point here. Everything we're talking about goes beyond the contact center's walls. So here's what we don't want to have happen in so many ways in our contact center.
Intruder in Sector 12. Intruder in Sector 12.
Hey!
recruiter in Sector 12.
Can your security software protect your whole business?
Sector 12 not secure.
Not just pieces. Ours can. eTrust Security Software from Computer Associates.
Sector 12 is now secure. We just handled an interaction. We did our job. It's over. Now it's just beginning. That's where it really gets interesting, because that's where we're empowered to go out to the rest of our organization and really improve our products and services and processes across the board. That's the defining trend. The thing that we have to have, of course, and you identified this with that question a moment ago, what's the challenge? And the solution is first of all, is to recognize it's the biggest challenge. We've got to get the right people. We've got to get the right team. Understanding our customers, understanding our channels, understanding what service really means in today's environment, understanding our organization and helping them understand the call center environment. It's an exciting process, and one that I'm convinced we're going to see more change in the next 5 years than we've seen in the last 20. And that's why conferences like this are so important, where we can get a chance to share and dialogue and see what's happening, what are the case studies, what are the things that we're all learning that can help our profession. Exciting time to be involved.